What's going on, YouTube, and welcome to the One Pride podcast, where we talk all things One Pride, and we're getting at it on this podcast. I want to say, hey, thank us to everybody that's coming in here. We got Alan Art in the building. Hey, we appreciate you, Alan Art, coming in the building here and doing everything you can to hang out with the folks with the One Pride podcast. And we got Tim Monroe, Corey Batten, Shane Kowalski, Chase Billup, Frog Crop, Dern, Apologize, Sean Conroe, Alan Dana, Randy Daniels, Thunder. I like that name. I like it, man. So let's get at it. Let's have some fun. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, Patty Grimes? Welcome to OPP. Folks, the reason why we don't have a lot of people on here is because of technological issues, but that's okay. We're going to get this thing going and get at it. We got 19 in the building. Let's get those 19 thumbs up. We're going to be talking about, obviously, the Todd Gurley situation here, and it's going to be fun if they sign him, and I think that we probably do sign him. Yes, he is meeting with the Lions here for sure, Randy Daniels, and it'd be interesting. I do believe they're going to sign him. Why? I just think that this team definitely wants to have a running back by committee, be able to run the football hardcore, and adding him to it will do that for sure. Folks, if you've not smashed that like button, smash that like button. That is how you get these videos out. In today's OPP, we're going to talk a little bit about the OTAs. We're going to talk a little bit about Todd Gurley, how the observation's going on. Definitely, when it comes to these observations, it's primarily listening and reading the articles. Clearly, I'm not there, so I wouldn't know about this. But let's go ahead and start and talk about Todd Gurley. What do you guys think? Do you want Todd Gurley to be signed by the Detroit Lions? Let me know in the comment section right now by hitting that Y or no. Yes, go ahead and sign him. N for no right now. One Pride, let's get after it. That's Big D73. We didn't sign him yet. Did we? He is right now in Detroit. They're having that conversation about signing him right meow. But he's officially not signed. What's going on, Jay Schultz? Hey, I like seeing you in here. How many running backs do we have? We actually have 5 currently signed right now. So we got Tim Monroe. He says no. Alan Art, he says yes. Patty Grimes says yes. 2 yes, 1 no. Let's get those voice. Okay, Corey says no, so we are definitely are half here. Sean says, hey, Mike, 72 will stay this year. I wouldn't be mad if he's not needed to spend money, for sure. And I'm just going to project if they do sign him, it's probably to a 1-year deal, around $5 million. That is my projection when it comes to him and what he will be contractual-wise. Right now, the Detroit Lions, I think, they have $23 million to spend currently, the last that I heard. And so we will see if that is something that they can get done for the Lions going forward. So we have more no's than yes. Dern says yes. Well, let's talk about what good things he could bring to the Detroit Lions and what bad things he can bring to the Detroit Lions. Positive things we'll do last. Let's go start with the negatives here. When it comes to Todd Gurley, there is a negative, obviously, due to his injury, his knee issues that he's been having throughout his career, obviously. But when it comes to the Detroit Lions, he wouldn't be the number 1 guy. He probably wouldn't be the number 2 guy. He'd be the number 3 guy. So that issue does negate a little bit. He's going to be cheap, and it would be a 1-year deal. So 1-year deal, that's good. Cheap, that's good. It's not going to cost a lot of money. But it does. I'm not taking a nap. Frog taking a nap. I wish. I'm actually on lunch break right now. So that's pretty funny. 36 in the building. Appreciate all 36 of you. So when it comes to the contract, it's not going to be much. But the injury history is there. So that is important to understand. You are taking a risk. And if you do sign a veteran such as a Todd Gurley, you're taking a position maybe of a younger guy who potentially would be healthy away. That is the negative of that aspect. Do you want to groom a younger guy who obviously would be cheaper anyways? We're talking about one of these undrafted guys. Or do you want to go with that? The positives when it comes to Todd Gurley, there's multiple positives. First off, he knows Jared Goff. Shout out to the Gridiron Blitz. He was talking about this. He can be familiar with another player. Clearly, that's a good thing. The Detroit Lions would be using him as a third back, not a number one guy, not a number two guy. The contract wouldn't be that big of a deal. And with the ability of having a top 5 offensive line, in my opinion, not suggesting that's what's going to be, but it definitely looking pretty good, they're going to primarily run the football. In my opinion, if they sign him, that would be 60% run, 40% pass. In the type of offense they want, we obviously got Anthony Lynn, offensive coordinator, want to run the football, no doubt about it. Having another veteran presence back there who's 26, it's not like he's 32, he's only 26, would help if there's an injury to DeAndre Swift or to Jamal Williams and or Jamar Jefferson. That is the positive. My personal opinion when I look at all of this situation when it comes to Todd Gurley, I actually projected him to sign with the Detroit Lions, and unfortunately, it took a little bit, and we'll see if it actually occurs, but I do think it would be a good thing for the Detroit Lions to sign Todd Gurley. I don't mind it at all. It's not like it's Adrian Peterson. Once here, I am going to shut my door because my kids are going crazy. There we go, and we got a super chat from Troxel Sports Talk. Hey, appreciate you, Troxel Sports Talk. He says, woo, love the setup. Keep grinding, brother. Bring Gurley in, please. He don't need to world beater. MicroMike is the GOAT, and you're the GOATs. You guys are all the GOATs, and I appreciate you all for hanging out with me throughout this time. Thank you so much, Trox. Shout out to you and everyone that's going on. So we got Rich. He says no. Schultz says, what the H? Might as well. Well, you got to understand, Adrian Peterson, Allen, is old. We're talking about a 26-year-old veteran and who's familiar with none other than, obviously, when it comes to Brad Holmes and when it comes to Jared Goff. You did say it. Yes, I did. He's not the solution as a number one guy. I 100% agree with you, but for a third down back, I see no problem with it. I don't. Because he had 9 touchdowns last year. Let's look up a little bit of his stats, folks. I got this all for you. I already did it up. Let's talk about a little of his stats when it comes to what he brings to the table while we get after it. I think that personally, with the amount of stats that he did get, and let's just first go ahead and merge here and show you that he's 6'1", 224. He's 26 years old, so it's not like he's old. 7 years experience. So that's something to look at. When we look at his stats as a whole, we're going to see that Todd Gurley, last year he played in 15 games. He rushed for 195 times for 678 yards and 9 touchdowns, primarily utilized as a back who can simply get those massive touchdowns that we need. And so for me, when it comes to Todd Gurley, it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. I think that it would be a nice add for sure. That's kind of the way that I would go about it. Let's see what you guys... Oh, we got another super chat here from ZT. Let me find it on here so I can bring it up. ZT Extreme. And I am not seeing it right now on my thing, but I see it on here, and it's a 99-cent super chat. Thank you so much for that super chat. I truly, truly appreciate it. Without you guys, this channel is not survived, so I really thank you for that. And folks, if you got questions, let me know, because I have no problems taking some questions here, and we can do the mailbag. We can have a good time. But while that is taking place, let's also talk about the OTAs. Now, Jared Goff has been very sharp in OTAs. That is very good. Seen the completion percentage. Now, when we were looking at the passes, when I was reading upon it, it was a lot of shorter passes, nothing giant, but still, it's good to see that they're already sharp, and he's not the window licker that everybody has seen. Penei Sewell on the right side of the offensive line, and then the right guard, you got Halapoulivaati Vaitai. So that's important to see right now. We can see the offensive line. We know the rest of it for sure. When it comes to the defenders, you have Jeffrey Okudah out there, apparently looking pretty good. But I think the most important issue here is we're seeing Jahlani Tavai. He lost a lot of weight at 216 pounds. And so, Rich, I 100% agree with you. Man, Rich is on fire here. First off, yes, linebacker help. We're just going to talk about Vati Vaitai. He lost a bunch of weight and hopefully can translate. Now, I'm not 100% convinced upon that, Rich, and you're absolutely facts. I think this is comments of the day. We need linebacker help like no other. And if they could eventually get someone like a Williamson or somebody else to help out that linebacking core, that would really help out. Word linebacker. What do you guys think in the comment section? Do you want a linebacker or what? Put LB in the comment section. I 100% agree. Wait, Tavai is 216. That's what I read. Not saying that's what it is. All I did was read today, or he lost a certain amount of weight. Sorry, he don't weigh 216. He lost a massive amount of weight. He trimmed down, Tone. Yes, he did. He lost a ton of weight, and we'll see if it translates, though. That's the one thing we're not 100% convinced on. Do you guys like the setup? Let me know in the comment section. You know how much time I've spent on this? I've spent probably every working minute that I am not working, I am spent on this setup, and I've spent a lot of time, and so to me, I'm hoping you guys enjoy it, a lot of my time. Let's see what what Thunder says. I think Todd Gurley would be a good fit, but we only have one roster spot left, and I would give it to a linebacker or a cornerback, but it's up to the Lions for the Pride Nation, baby. Well, we did lose a defensive tackle for the year, so there goes that roster spot. So there's going to be a spot open, and obviously a lot of these guys are not going to make the team. We're talking about, so we got like 7 tight ends currently on the roster right now, and so having so many tight ends, obviously we're going to cut it down. Too many Pac-12. Hey, man, as long as it's Oregon Ducks, I'm fine, even though we did get an Oregon player as well. Thank you so much, Tim Monroe. I appreciate it. They said, yes, okay, sorry. You're 100% right, Big Wes. Lost 17 pounds, not 216. I meant 16, but 17 pounds. So 237 now. He is definitely a lightweight when it comes to dropping the weight to hopefully impose more speed, and that is vital towards what we're going to do here in Detroit. What are you watching right now? You're watching Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike, Lions news and rumors. We talk all things Detroit Lions, so make sure you have a good time because this is where we have fun for sure. And let's go ahead and look in the city of Detroit here. And as you can see, in the bag is Detroit Lions, Detroit City moving. Now, I'm a little bit tall. Let me scrooge down a little bit. But, hey, Mike, have a quick question. Will Tim Boyle be the new quarterback of the future? Because a lot of people here, are saying that that's what your opinion is, Mike. I don't think he's the quarterback of the future. I do believe he is a very good backup. Now, Tim Boyle is a player who does got a big arm. Obviously, he's got some issues because he's an individual who simply is not the greatest of all time. But yes, he has definitely shown some quality abilities to be a decent backup. I think he's better than the backups we've had, obviously, in Dan Orlowski. And we even in last year, folks, we had some pretty poor performances regarding the quarterback position. Obviously, Chase McBurger-Daniels, for sure. He's lighter than me now. Let's see. We got the Dern saying 63 in the building. Well, 70 now with only 36 likes. Hey, let's get those likes up, folks, to 70 and get Detroit to the next level for sure. So if you got questions, folks, Give them to me. Send them to me. I am ready for your questions. Any question you want, do a hashtag. That will help. Where is Mike? I'm right here. Do a hashtag if that helps. For me, it does. And I will get to it. Let's go. And we have a question here from Perry. Do you think some of undrafted free agent wide receivers will beat out some veteran wide receivers? It's very possible. Obviously, when we look at Geronimo Allison, I think he's an individual who's not going to be on the roster too long. Look, he skipped out last year. To me, he's on the outs looking in. I don't think there's a lot left of Geronimo Allison. Sage Surratt could potentially take his spot for sure. Look, it is important to get younger. I think I have no problem with getting younger and trimming down some of this fat. And if you're going to have a guy like Geronimo Allison who's not the long-term answer, why not? So I'm 100%, I agree with you that we should. Have we signed a safety yet? Well, I think about a week ago we signed a safety, not an undrafted guy, but he's a second-year player who didn't really have any playing time last year. So no in importance of safety position. We didn't sign like a Malik Hooker. We didn't sign anything with big-time name qualifications. So let's look here. Heath was lucky, hurt. Now he will get paid all year since he has no chance of making the team. Interesting. How do you feel about Jordan Hicks? Well, I don't really feel a whole lot about him. I think the Lions could look, but at the end of the day, I think if they're wanting to make a signing, we need to go safety. I do agree with that for sure. I think safety is a big... I'm just worried about Harris, but if they want to go that route, I'm perfectly fine. If it is... Hooker needs to be in Detroit, 100% agree. If that's the route they're going to go with, getting a guy in free agency. One pride will be a copy of the Patriots offense with so many tight ends and running backs, or the copy of the Chicago Bears. Was it last year when they had like 25 tight ends? Yeah, we're not going to keep all these tight ends. We're probably just going to keep 3, and that's really it. Obviously, you got TJ Hockenson, and that will be the main focal point, but I wouldn't expect more than 3, unless they keep a tight end who is more of a fullback. You could see something like that, but Tavares garbage. I do agree with you. You think Dean Marlowe a chump? No, I just don't know. I don't think he's a chump, no. No, I do not think he's a chump. I think Harris is not the guy. Dean Marlowe, I would definitely put above him, and I don't know, what the position they're going to go at with starters. But if Dean Marlowe is your starter, he gets injured, do you trust Harris? I don't. I do not trust Harris. Sage Surratt and Adams Jr. have a good shot in making the roster. I do believe Sage Surratt may be the best of the wide receivers, for sure. I do like what I see from them going into this thing. Do you think Swift will get 1,000 if we take a running back by committee approach? Probably not. If we do get a Todd Gurley and you're expecting to get a running back who gets 1,000 yards, that's probably going to decrease it, obviously, because the number of times that DeAndre Swift would get the football would decrease, and it would be difficult if they sign Todd Gurley. What's more important to you guys, though, in the chat? To have a 1,000-yard rusher or to have a legit running game? And that's a serious question. Some people, I know TA Noble Sports, he wants to have that main guy. I just want to have an effective offense that could run the football, but I'd love to have a 1,000-yard rusher for sure. That's obviously a big issue as well. But that is a difficult question for everybody here. How many free agent wide receivers can we sign? We might as well sign 10 million more, for sure. Yeah, he is solid, for sure. Say no to Julio. No. Yeah, we're not gonna go ahead and trade for Julio Jones. He's gonna be coming for a first-round draft pick at 32 years old. It doesn't make a lot of sense from a Lions standpoint. Has there been? Hey, my God! First off, I love the avatar, Tom from MySpace. That has been a while. I actually just watched a documentary on MySpace. That was funny. It was the rise and fall of MySpace. Has there been any big changes on special teams? Besides just having a new special teams coordinator, no. Not a whole lot. Well, I haven't heard a whole lot about the kicking position. I didn't read anything about it yet. Who's going to be the kicker? I think that's the biggest question mark. We know with punter. We know with the long snapper. But the kicker position, and there's going to be obviously who's going to be the kick returner. There's many different individuals out there that could be that. I think we're going to have to wait for training camp. And when it comes to the who's going to be the kicker for the Detroit Lions going forward, we're going to have to wait till preseason to kind of figure that one out. Let's see. Will David make the team this year? David Blau? David Blau, I think he could make the team as the maybe on the special team, not a special team, sorry, the practice squad. I don't think he's going to be the backup unless they go 3 quarterbacks. That's the way I see it, as 1, 2, 3, and Blau as the guy on the practice squad. I see, and if I miss your question, folks, don't hate. It's simply because I missed it. A good run game, and we can have years less wear and tear on the running backs. Yeah, and when it comes to the running game, there is an approach, right? You could have the one guy who kills it, a Derrick Henry, or you can have a Cleveland Browns where they do by committee, San Francisco as well. It just depends, what do you want? Now, I love Derrick Henry. He's my favorite running back in the NFL. If that's the route they wanted to go, I'm not going to be upset about it. But at the end of the day, what this spells for me, more importantly, not the player when it comes to Todd Gurley, is the fact that this team is going to be a run-first team, a running football team, a physical team that runs the football. We have not seen a team committed to the run game since Barry Sanders. Yes, Reggie Bush got 1,000 yards. But let's admit it here, folks. He was not where we just focus on the running game. It's been a long time since we've done that, and this is focusing. Oh my God, we got Thanks C-Troop, first of the 126. I think I know who you are. Hey, shout out to you for serving your country. I believe I know who you are. I believe I know you are. I don't want to say your name because we are online, but if it is who I think it is, you're cooking. That's for sure. Mark Oram, Lions fans have fallen under the spell of Tim Boyle, I'm noticing. Tim Boyle, to me, is a solid backup. You got to look at the tape. I've watched Tim Boyle. I want to see what he brings, and I was kind of shocked. I think what hurts him the most is his name is Boyle. Okay, but he's actually a solid backup, in my opinion. Let's see. In 2 years, the Detroit Lions would just be like the Cleveland Browns. We're going to have a breakout year, trust me. I don't think we're going to have a breakout year this specific year, but I feel like the Lions are going in the right direction, just as you're saying with the Cleveland Browns. Another analogy is what Troxel Sports Talk said is, look at the Arizona Cardinals. The first year, they were, you felt like they're building something. Second year, last year, man, they're starting to get their feet wet a little bit. And then year 3, you expect the team to take that next jump. I think when it comes to the Lions, we could be at that year 1, hopefully speed it up with next year's draft, considering the fact that we have 10 million draft picks, and that can help us out when you're building a football team. But no doubt about it, this team is going in the right direction. The leadership is there, and if you hear the players speak, we're having fun again. TJ Hockenson just did an interview today on DetroitLions.com and on YouTube talking about he was having fun. And to me, that's a big deal because the last regime, Pat Matricia, was absolutely atrocious and treated this like a prison. And when you have that mentality, it's not going to be good. Let's see here. We got, do you think the Lions have anything worthy enough to trade for a top receiver? Jared Goff needs weapons. Well, we're not going to trade for Julio Jones. I give that about a 1% chance. I'd be completely shocked. But there is Odell Beckham Jr. who potentially could be on the trading block. What would it cost? I made a video about this. It probably costs around a 3rd-round draft pick. Understand that if they did want to trade for an Odell Beckham Jr., who's 28 years old, who have off-field issues, but he also is talented with an injury history, he'd probably be a 3rd-round draft pick. And we're going to have a ton of draft picks for next year. We're going to have a conditional 3rd-round pick for Kenny Galladay. We're going to have our own 3rd-round pick. So if they wanted to use, and we'll probably have 4th and 5th round conditionals as well. So if they wanted to go that route, they can do that. With That said, I do not want them to do that. I think it would hurt the progress of the football team. We also have Terrell Crosby. He is an asset they could get for, if they wanted to get another player, say said wide receiver, say said linebacker or safety. That's another chip they can utilize. With that said, that is a massive risk, giving up a quality talent such as Terrell Crosby who can play left and right. That's a risk. And then you have Jelani Tavai. If you can get a hamburger for him, I would be happy. So, one Pride 40. So, getting Gurley would not be same old Lions. And what happens to Jefferson? Jefferson still be on the team. It's just last year that we apparently wanted to get rid of all the running backs. You'd still have 1, 2, 3, 4. I wouldn't see it wouldn't do anything to Jefferson. I understand Jefferson is a different type of running back as well. He's more like a Theo Riddick type of running back. So he's not going to be the guy that's going to be, running on third down. He would probably be utilized on pass attempts when it comes to in the line of scrimmage. So it's not going to hurt anything. Let's see here. We need a number one so we can take the pressure off of everybody else. Well, when it comes to the pressure there, I think that also helps out with the running game. That will take the pressure off. I think we definitely do need to upgrade the wide receiver position, but that's going to take another year. I think next year, understand this is a rebuild/retool mode. It's extremely important to take the correct steps, and you can't get everybody in 1 year. Yep, might be worth waiting for all those drafts next year. 100% agree with you. First off, everybody, Patriot MMA is a friend of mine. I served in Iraq with him. He is an awesome guy. This guy is hilarious. He's the funniest guy on the planet. So everybody say thank you for his service. And, man, hey, he can be seen. He can be seen. So shout out to everybody. That is a friend of mine. Hawk is the number one wide receiver. That's hilarious. He's definitely the number one target on offense. I would have to agree there. I definitely think he's going to do that for sure. And as you've seen in OTAs, or if you read about, obviously he's getting targeted. Why? Because we're doing... he's the best weapon we got. That's period. Yes, I know Tavai lost weight. Yes, he did. Mike, you said Odell Beckham Jr. off the field problems. Can you tell us why? Well, when it comes to Odell Beckham Jr., obviously he had issues when he was with the New York Giants, and there was said rumors that he didn't want to be in Cleveland. I can't say that that's real or not. But when it comes to getting fights on the field, those what I meant is the off-field issues. It's on the field, but it's an issue where you're dealing with a problem. And the diva mentality. It's often been rumored and said by a lot that he's a diva player. Do you want to have that diva mentality for your franchise that's in rebuild/retool mode? That is a question mark for sure. MMA salute, thank you. We might as well do a good front seven this year and finally get some dogs up front to penetrate. 100% agree with you, Chris Cawbaugh. Yes, Chris Cawbaugh. Hey, you're 100% correct. Correct. When I talked to you a while ago about the offensive line, you were on fire about that. But I do agree with you. We need to get some dogs here and build this team the correct way, getting after the passer, just like we did with the offensive line, building the big uglies up front. If we can get after the passer the same way, if you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that is how they defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. And we got a super chat from Troxel Sports Talk. Thank you so much. He says, thank you, Patriot MMA, for your service to this country. Hey, shout out to Patriot MMA. Shout out to Troxel Sports Talk. You are the GOAT. And we totally appreciate that for sure. We had a number one, but nothing else. NFL is a team sport. That is 100% correct. NFL is a team sport. We did have wide receivers, but then we didn't have a defensive line. We don't have a linebacking core. You have to build your team the correct way, and when you do terrible drafts and when you get bad players, it's going to hurt the team. And so what this regime had to do is get rid of these bad players, such as a Christian Jones and such as a Desmond Trufant, Justin Coleman wasn't performing well. These players, they had to get rid of, and you just can't build everything in one night. Chris Cashbaugh with the smile. Yes, I know. He's another very good individual to listen to when it comes to understanding the game for sure. Folks, if you have not subscribed to this channel, that's nuts. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm dropping content literally every single day. Subscribe to the channel. And if you got question, folks, let me know. This is, again, the mailbag segment where you guys do a hashtag NFL, hashtag Lions, hashtag whatever. I can see it. I will click on it, comment on it, and talk about it because this is your guys' show to run. The Legacy hates us. They hate us, folks. They truly hate us. And that's why you got to like this stream. The more likes we get, the more chance that this stream gets out. I'm also a partner at Chat Sports, and I want to show these guys that, yes, Detroit Lions do have a fan base regardless of our team talked about by these sports centers. Let's see, question here from Batch. If we get OBJ, will we become instant playoff contenders? No, I don't still believe we will be instant playoff contenders, and I'm going to tell you why. The linebacking core is still suspect in my opinion. Also, we do have issues at the edge. Can we still get after the passer? We got issue at safety as well. The defense was ranked 32 last year. It should have been ranked 50 out of 32. It was really bad, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time. We also need to have a little more depth, too, as well. So I think that it's going to take a little bit. But it may get better, too, if Aaron Rodgers does leave, and it's definitely looking like he is going to leave. Thank you so much, TA Noble Sports. Make sure you subscribe to TA Noble Sports. He is one of the best scouting YouTubers there is. This guy scouts, and it comes out to be real why he played the game at a fairly high level. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Yes, 100%. Let's get those likes up. Wouldn't Odell Beckham Jr. fall in Campbell's turd category? Adios, turd nugget. I don't think so. I don't know. That's the question mark here. Would he? Probably not. I don't think so. I don't think he would be that. I think there's a lot of turd categories out there that we can look at. Christian Jones would be one of them. I think he would be a category. The players such as that. Obviously, Kerryon Johnson was part of that deal. I think that would be. What's going on? Roman used to be Roman the New Age. Now, Chris says, no OBJ. We got speed guys on the edge to make the offense efficient. Got to run the system. And old and expensive. When he says something, folks, you probably should pay attention just a little bit more than the average person. Lions does Big V get traded after June 1? I wish he would get traded, but I don't believe so. I think he's going to be with the Detroit Lions this year and going forward. Why? Because the Lions are committed to him with a lot of money, and I do believe they're going to give him a chance to take that guard position on the right side, because if V can step up, this offensive line is disgustingly sick, and so that is the biggest question mark. Because you look at Taylor Decker, great, okay, Jonah Jackson, great, Frank Ragnow, Pro Bowl, All-Pro potentially. Then you got, obviously, Penei Sewell out of Oregon, who's going to be a monster of a right tackle. I think they're going to give him a chance, and they're going to do that and see how it works. Thanks, Mike. Hey, no problem, TA Noble Sports. Expect Hawk at the slot, backs out of the backfield to eat. You will find out in about 30 minutes. Shut the door all the way, please. All the way. That was my kids there. Trade Crosby to the Dolphins for Parker and a few picks. Hold on one second. Come on, guys. Wouldn't you agree with Stafford had better offensive weapons than Goff did last year? Well, yeah. Oh, for sure. That's not even a question mark. Kenny Galladay is better than the wide receiver we have now. Marvin Jones Jr., extremely underrated. When it comes to the running game, though, I think that would be more the question mark. I think that the running game is better now. And we always talk about weapons, but I feel like this offensive line is better than last year as well. But when it comes to wide receivers, no doubt. No doubt. That's 100% correct. I mean, you look at Tyrell Williams, he has an injury history. So we're not 100% sure that he can even stay healthy. Brashard Perryman is not Marvin Jones Jr. So, yes, 100%. TA is a boss. Goff will shine in this system. Yeah, I think Goff is going to do fine in this system. And I know a lot of people are worried about it, about Jared Goff. But I think everyone expecting so poor of his play, you're going to be surprised that it's not as bad as everyone thinks he is. He shouldn't be ranked 26 out of 32. I think that's kind of ridiculous. When you look at him, he is accurate. And I think that with this running game that we are going to do, it's going to help out with play action. And he's not going to do as bad as everyone thinks he's going to do. Let's see. What Crosby for James Washington from the Steelers. Hashtag Goff go off. First off, I like that hashtag. I don't know if he's going to go off. You know, it's not going to be the same situation we've seen for the last 12 years when it comes to the passing attack. We've relied upon an arm. We're not going to be relying upon that anymore. We're not going to have 5,000 yards passing. Probably not even 4,000 passing. He says, no, Mike, I meant that Stafford had better weapons with the Lions than Goff did with the Rams. Ooh, I could say yeah. I probably could say yeah, for sure. I believe that's true, but they also had a #1 defense in the NFL, and that's pretty good for a quarterback. But offensively, when you're just comparing the weapons, I could say Stafford definitely had better weapons for sure. Again, that offense was pretty good. I mean, you had Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones Jr., if they gave Swift more of the ball, he probably would have done great. And obviously, T.J. Hawkinson's a beast, so for sure, I could agree to that. I think Goff is an Alex Smith clone. Could be an Alex Smith clone. I think that's a good comparison. But I think his deep ball, he can throw the ball a lot farther than Alex Smith. Alex Smith, he wasn't the biggest arm in the world. I think Goff's got an arm. But I think his issue potentially is misreading the defense sometimes. I think that's his biggest issue. So if they can get an offense surrounding the fact of simply run the football, play action, simplified offense, I think he'll be fine. I think Alex Smith's a little smarter IQ when it comes to Alex Smith. What are your expectations for division games this year? Do we hold any running backs under 100 yards? Yes, we do. I do believe so. I think our run defense is actually going to be much improved from last year. I'm not saying it's going to be top 10, but I could see us being top 15, between 12 and 15 run defense. So I could see us stopping players from getting 100 yards rushing. When it comes to the NFC North, predicated on Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers is here, we will lose these games. If Aaron Rodgers is gone, I think we can beat Jordan Love. Jordan Love, to me, is not the guy I'm too worried about in this area of play in the NFC North. But let's talk about the Chicago Bears. That's a question mark. We're not 100% sure what Chicago's going to look like. You know, to me, they could be a team that's okay, a mid-level team, or they could suck, or they end up being good because of Justin Fields. We just don't really know there. Minnesota Vikings, they draft so well. And they're one of those teams that could be good or bad. I mean, they literally could be both. So I think the Lions, if the Lions can win against Green Bay Packers twice, if Aaron Rodgers is there, we lose twice. Chicago, maybe we split with them, and maybe we split with Minnesota, or it's a big question mark, but I do think that we're not going to lose all the games. That just seems a little bit off. Lions be able to compete under management coach will make big difference. This team will buy into the system. Love Detroit football. Been rebuilding since 1957. Well, thank you so much, Jeremy LaForest. Yes, we've been building. I have a shirt that says rebuilding since 1957, but I do believe we're on the right track. We have the right leadership for this team to go forward. You need to have quality leadership from the head down. If you don't have good leadership, you're going to have dysfunction throughout your team. And now we have an owner that actually cares. Chris Spielman obviously cares. Brad Holmes, a good GM. And I think obviously getting Dan Campbell, the knee biter, is a setup for success. And the coaching staff around them, offense coordinator, defensive coordinator, all these coaches that they got is building a foundation of success going forward. Will that result into W's? That is yet to be seen. I do think there is a good chance, though, that they do get better eventually. If Rodgers is gone, we definitely have the best quarterback in the NFC North. That's interesting, too, because how will Kirk Cousins be? We know, I just don't think Jordan Love's going to be that good. And Justin Fields, I don't think Justin Fields is going to start week 1. I think it's going to take a couple weeks. But he is better to me than Nick Foles and obviously Andy Dalton. I think Dalton does start the season, but Kirk Cousins is there. Are these kneeling or what? I have no idea. I don't see any kneeling going on. Let's see here. Will Jared Goff read defenses better? Shotgun formations? Yeah, he could. In LA, it was play action and had a back of the defense most of the time. Well, that's the issue. You're 100% right. Can he read the defenses? If he's in shotgun, that's what he did, obviously, in college. That's what he did there. And so I think that he can do better if that's what helps him out. With that said, I do think we're going to run the football and do play action. So that's pretty interesting, but I think that's kind of the offense we're going to do. Akers is not better than Swift. Let's see here. Patriot says he is waiting for bitten kneecaps in wild card spot. I had no idea you're a Lions fan, bro. I had no idea. Imagine all the conversations we would have had in OIF. So, yeah, man, where I'm waiting for kneecaps as well. Get those kneecaps bitten, and we're going to get it. What was your reaction? Tell me the reaction of what you wanted me the reaction. I think there will be a better than most, and likely I really hope the Rams tank. Teams can't just look past us on the schedule that is dangerous. Trap game weekly. Yeah, I don't think, generally, if teams look past us, I think that's a mistake, because if you look at the Lions, if you look past the team, we get bitten. Man, oh man, how many times? We almost lost the Cleveland Browns when they went 0-16. So you can never look past a football team no matter what. Point blank, period. I think if they look past us, that's, hey, look, we're not going to be the best team in the world, but I'll take any chance we can get. Let's see here. I'm from Colorado and thus a Broncos fan, but was very impressed with the Lions fans' loyalty to their team when I lived in Michigan. Complete opposite of Seahawks bandwagoners. We can't be bandwagon fans here, Dino. And, man, appreciate you jumping in here. Appreciate you as a Denver Broncos fan. I'm curious to see, do you guys think you're getting Aaron Rodgers? That would be a question. But it's hard to be a bandwagon Lions fan because we have been bad for so long. It's been devastatingly bad that you can't. At some point, we're going to win. It may not happen in my lifetime, but we're waiting for that moment so Detroit just flips out. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Detroit City back there, go nuts. What was my reaction when Sewell fell? First off, my reaction was explosive when they picked up Jalen Waddle. You need to see my reaction there. Why? Because then I knew Penei Sewell fell to this. I went crazy. I went nuts, man. I was so happy that Penei Sewell fell to the Detroit Lions, the guy who I knew can solidify this offensive line. As an Oregon Duck fan, getting another Oregon Duck on this offensive line was goat-ridden love. And my God, it was fantastic. Hey, I seen that Jamie Guerrero subscribed to the channel. Hey, appreciate you. And looks like Filth just subscribed to the channel. I'm sure I destroyed your name. I am sorry. There is no bandwagon fans here. Let's see. Marvin Jones better than Cooper Kupp and Galladay over Robert Woods, and Hockenson better than Rams tight end. Marvin Jones is a beast, bro. He's very underrated. I think a lot of people didn't appreciate him as much as probably we should have. Kenny Galladay is a monster, except for last year he got injured. So if you want to do talent-wise, I guess, but if you want to go injury-wise, for sure. We are a wagon with a broken wheel, 100%. Let's see. Stafford had plenty of weapons. He just trash. So D-Town don't like Stafford. That's for sure. And we're gonna see this question mark. Who was Stafford the trash? Was he the problem here in Detroit? Because there is a saying, just like Dan Campbell says, there's a thing about winners. Will they win? Now, they're in a tough division. There should be no excuses, right? He's got all the weapons of the world. He got a good defense. He should win. So I'm watching it. I hope they don't win. I want more draft picks. I want more draft picks. Let's see. I was with you until you said Marvin Jones was better than Cooper Kupp. Like, we must be talking about different Cooper Kupps here. And they're going back and forth. I think Marvin Jones Jr. is a very underrated player. Cooper Kupp's a very good player as well. I don't know if he's underrated, though. That's the thing. A lot of people give him acknowledgement of being great. Marvin Jones Jr. was given not a whole lot of acknowledgement of being a quality player for us. And that's just is what it is. Make sure you hit that like button, folks. Let's see how many likes we got. We got 102 in the building with 63 likes. Let's get to at least 75. Let's get those likes up, folks, to 75. Stafford has always had weapons. Stafford wasn't the problem, but he wasn't the solution. So a lot of people getting in on this about the Stafford deal. What do you guys think? Are we better off with Stafford not being here with the capital that we got and the players that we're going to get, not just obviously this year's draft with the third-round pick, but for next year's first-round draft pick as well, and Jared Goff? I think, personally, there was a great trade for us to get 2 first-rounders and a third and a player, so I am better off happy with this rebuild, but that is just me. Marvin is better than Cooper Kupp, so we got people that think that Cooper is not as good as Marvin Jones Jr. We'll see this year, right? We will definitely see this year for sure. And that was crazy. That was weird. Sorry about that, folks. That was weird. That was not expected. Now, here we go. We're going to do this there. Let's see. Sadly, yes. You don't pay a guy $200 million if he's not to be the solution. Hey, I feel you. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. See how many likes we got. 66. 111 to build. Let's get 75. 9 more likes. Let's get those likes up, folks. Stafford held on to the ball too long. You know, one of my issues with Stafford, and Jared Goff is the complete opposite. And I know it's not a huge thing here. This is definitely, it's a minor detail, but I think it's a detail we do got to talk about, is when he would attempt to fake it for a run game, when they're fake for a run play, Stafford was like a yard off from the player. And it was so, you would never bite it. Like, you knew it was not a run play because he'd be a yard off. Jared Goff, he gets that ball right into that stomach and pulls it back out. So you're going to see that will be a difference between Stafford and Goff, and I think it's a good difference for sure. Matthew Stafford. So we definitely gotten into the Stafford talk. Anyone got questions, do hashtag Lions, hashtag NFL. That's what it's all about. You see right there, it's called the mailbag segment where you got questions, I have answers, and we get to the nitty-gritty detail. We could talk about OTAs. We could talk apparently about Stafford. We could talk about pretty much anything. We could talk about, obviously, Todd Gurley potentially signing with the Lions as he is here. Chris says, better off out Stafford. However, Stafford was such a talent that management always tried to win with his talent and never really built stuff around him as much as they did with Goff. You got to be able to rely on all of your weapons and not just your quarterback, and you build a team throughout the whole team. And we're not just talking offensively, we're talking defensively as well. You got to have a defense. If you don't have a defense, you're not going to win. I think Todd Gurley will end up being like Kerryon Johnson. I don't think that. So I think, bruh, first off, cool name, bruh. 82. I think Todd Gurley's better than Kerryon Johnson. I was not a fan of Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson did nothing running the football. All he did was pass protection. And I think Todd Gurley will get more when it comes to running the football. He had 9 touchdowns last year. 9 touchdowns. Super chat from Corey. He says, love the setup. Keep up the good work. Stafford just ran his course here, and it didn't work out. Hashtag restore the roar. Actual defense. Goff going off. And again. Oh, you want to hear the and again. Oh, you know it. Hold on, folks, as I haven't even started this. You know it when you guys super chat.
And again.
And again, come on.
And again.
Let me get that combo breaker too, or when I get a super chat too, let's do a Ultra Combo. That is what's up, folks. Hashtag Lions. How do you feel about Williams being slated over Swift? Hey, I'm not looking at this as like when you see the depth chart 1, 2, 3. I don't care about that. I think they're both going to be used quite a bit, fairly evenly. So if he is slated as the number 1 officially when the official depth chart comes out, I'm not going to be worried about it because they're both going to get a lot. They're both going to do a lot, so I'm not too worried about that. And I don't think any much of any other individuals should be as well. Hashtag NFL. Stafford had Megatron and went to the playoffs twice. Yes, we did go to the playoffs twice, but we lost 0 times. But we went to the playoffs 3 times. Lost to Seattle, lost to New Orleans Saints, and the Dallas Cowboys. But that should have been a win. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. That should have been the win. They stole that one from us. Also, guess the Lions just signed Antonio Gates. What are they doing? What? There's no way that they just signed Antonio Gates. If we can't run the ball, this year, we're going to be trash. Yeah, we're going to have to run the football this year. No doubt about it. You got to run the football, and that's what we're going to do. We are going to run the football. So don't be worried about it thinking we're not going to do it. We are going to do it. Stafford wasn't, well, they're doing the Stafford back and forth. Let's see. How can a player never won the best I've ever had? Well, sometimes you get players that are just not winners. He wasn't hurt. Best, but he put it out there. Holy smokes, that Stafford stuff just rages on and on and on and on. Do you think the Lions will get Megatron back? As a representative of the Detroit Lions, yes, we paid him. As a player of the Detroit Lions, no, I don't see that being the case. He is retired, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But yes, he'll be back because we paid him. Wow, who got Gates? We got Gates? Really, that's awesome. What? Are you serious? You can't say this and this be real unless it's real. Okay, Stafford needs to go. Yeah, he's been gone. Jared Goff can play. First off, that's a funny name there. I like it there. Backup Lions never win. The standards to be the best for us isn't. What are the odds that the Rams tank? I don't think they're going to tank. I think they're a good football team. I don't think they're going to tank. But with that said, for them to be a 9-win football team, it's possible. I mean, they're the hardest division in the NFL. San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals. That's crazy. Yeah, he did retire a long time ago, so I don't... Is it real, or are you guys just trolling me? Because that's crazy, because I can't tell right now, because this stuff is... I'm live, so I have no idea. I'm feeling like this is a big-time troll. I truly, truly do. Stafford had NFL talent. If you got questions, folks, let's get at it. This is such an interesting conversation about the Stafford conversation is never going to end. It will never. I will be 90 years old and we're still going to be talking about Stafford. Stafford this, Stafford that, always about Stafford. We should be talking about things that affects our team. Stafford is no longer here, and I don't think it's going to affect. Yeah, I see nothing showing. Yeah, it's just troll. It was a good troll. I love the trolls. 4 more likes to 75. 4 more likes to 75. So let's get those likes up, folks. That's what it's all about, smashing that like button. Why? So you don't miss out on the Detroit Lions' latest news and rumors. And if we do sign Todd Gurley in the next day, that's probably going to happen. Make sure you are on my channel because a video will be dropping talking about that immediately for sure. Everyone's talking about Gates here. Will the Gurley signing, if it happens, affect Swift production? Yes, it will be. It will be affecting the production because you're getting another running back that's going to take away from Swift. With that said, are you wanting to run the football? Are you wanting to run the football with a three backs by committee, or you're wanting to go ahead and just get a 1,000-yard rusher? And that is a question mark that 100% we all may disagree on. What is the Lions win-loss record? Right now, I have them going 6 wins. 7 is possible. I think if they get Todd Gurley, it could go up a little bit to 7 wins for sure, just looking at it, because it focuses not just on the player that the Lions are going to run the football, and that is essential for success of this team, is to run the football. That's what we got to do. We need to do it. And if they side Todd Gurley, it shows that they are 100% committed to it. So, and I think that can help out by closing games out, not necessarily the player himself. Let's see. Hashtag NFL. When the Rams lose it, it will be great for the Lions. Oh, yeah, absolutely, it'd be great for the Lions. We get their first-round pick next year, so that'll be a higher first-round pick. So we all should be rooting for the Rams to really, really suck. We're 3 likes away from 75. 3 likes away from 75. And we will have guests back on here. This is a new production I'm utilizing, and we had issues when it comes to the other panelists, and that's why I'm on here myself, because I've spent countless hours building this thing so you guys get the best presentation. I'd trade all of Stafford's career yards for a top 5 defense. Brandon, he loves defense. So do I, man. I love defense. And that's what it's all about, folks, is getting that mad defense. Goff has jumpy feet like Montana. He does got some jumpy feet. You guys got to check out the tape. You'll laugh hysterically watching this guy's feet. He does. He's all over the field with his feet. But that's not a bad thing. You want the quarterback to be moving around. But that's a funny comment because I was just watching some of him today, and I was laughing at his feet. I love Stafford. We had lots of memories, but he's gone now. I don't care how good he is or is. My concern is Jared Goff. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. Jared Goff. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. No doubt. I'm with you. That's my quarterback. Goff has been running for his life the past few years. Gonna love it here and kick butt on this offensive line. We're gonna kill it on this offensive line, and I think it's gonna be a fantastic thing to watch. And I see a lot of people are probably watching the playoffs here when it comes to the NBA. I know Troxel Sports Streams is probably starting to stream here very shortly, if not 3 minutes ago, and I can't wait to get in there myself. I don't see Alpha Dog in the backfield. Gurley, at the least, would be a good mentor for the youngin'. Yeah, I don't, and you know what, too? And this is exactly what the Gridiron Blitz said, is he will have a familiar face. That's someone he can relate to that he's been with. Todd Gurley, obviously, with the Rams, and he was familiar with him. So having that familiar face is not a bad, and it could help mentor the younger guys as well. But he's not like he's the oldest veteran. He's only 26. Please side Todd Gurley by Mark. I do. I am the guy who wants Todd Gurley signed to the Detroit Lions. Do you guys want Todd Gurley signed? I am curious to see what you guys think about having him signed. I think when it comes to Todd Gurley, we should sign him. I think it would help out immensely for the Lions overall. I think that would be good, man. If we sign Todd Gurley, it would just help out the running back room as a whole. I have no problem with it, as long as it's not some crazy contract, for sure. Do you think signing Todd Gurley would benefit the Lions in many ways? Yes, having multiple running backs there's nothing wrong with having multiple running backs, and I think that having him there confirms the concept of running the football, and he's got 9 touchdowns last year. So imagine if it's 3rd and 2, we don't have to throw the football, we can just run the football, and you know that he's a big guy, he can get that first down. So I think that would be perfectly fine. I don't see the big issue. Do you think have multiple linemen in the Pro Bowl? I think we should have multiple linemen in the Pro Bowl. the word is should. We all know the Pro Bowl is definitely a popularity contest. I think Frank Ragnow definitely should be in the Pro Bowl, and there's a chance maybe even, I don't know, maybe Taylor Decker can get in there. He did good last year. We have a new subscriber, actually a couple new subscribers. Thank you, Kem and Dynamis, for subscribing to the channel. You guys are awesome. Let's see. New quarterback, new era, one pride. We got a LFMO. Mike, don't let Gurley leave. I want him, man. I want to know what the LFMO is about. Let's see here. The NFLPA have agreed for salary cap ceiling. Yes, 14% increase from this year, and that's always good to get an increase for sure. Who could you see on the trade block this year, Brendan? Well, we know that it looks like Terrell Crosby could be on the trade block. I would see that for sure. I would love for a couple players to be on the trade block. One being Tavai, but I don't know if that's going to be legitimate just because our linebacking core is fairly bad. But I don't think a whole lot of players are going to be on the trade block, in all honesty. I don't. Maybe if we're extremely bad, we could trade somebody by the trade deadline, if this team just bottoms out. But, it just depends. Question mark. If I missed your guys' comment, it's not because I'm doing this on purpose. It's because there's a lot of comments coming in. So just repost it with the hashtag, and it catches my eye. That's all it is. McVay is very overrated, and always LaFleur was the brains of the Rams offense, and it was an offensive coordinator. And this is the big issue. Was he overrated? Is he overrated? Because we've seen time and time again where coaches come onto the scene and they do great, and then they kind of fall off a little bit when it comes to the schemes and how they operate. A lot of times it's offense. We've seen it with Darrell Bevell. We've seen it with our offensive coordinator in 2011. Man, we had a great offense, and that thing just kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. Do you think trading Crosby is a bad idea? I actually do think it's a bad idea, Corey. I actually do, because I like him as a swing tackle. If there's an injury, and God forbid, there probably will be, you got a guy who could play left and right, and you're not going to be too worried about it. Like, if there's an injury to Taylor Decker, okay, well, this guy can come in and do a decent job. He's not going to be a falling off a cliff guy. He's not going to be some mouth breather. He can do a decent job. If Penei Sewell goes down, you know that he can play the right side. He did it all last year. He was playing basically better than Vati Vaitai. So, no, I think Goff will have a little more help at wide receiver. Will be good. Stafford and Goff stats are similar to last year. They were similar, and that's facts. You know what's interesting is we're 15 likes away from 100, and I think we can get there to 100 likes. Again, next week we will have the full panel on. I'm working the kinks out on this. I built this thing from scratch, and it is extreme. I'm not a tech guy, and I've probably spent in the last, between the issues last week, probably 50 hours on this thing. And to give you guys the best available look. The last thing is bringing the guys in. And so you'll have the panel back on. They tried to get on, it just didn't work, so I had to call it. Hashtag, can the Lions win the NFC North if the Vikings lose and Rodgers leaves? I don't want to blow smoke up for people's 2 points of contact here. I think it's going to be difficult for the Lions to win the NFC North this year. Is it possible? Yeah, anything's possible. If Aaron Rodgers leaves, it's definitely more up in the air than we've seen in years past, for sure. But, Chicago Bears do got a really good defense. And, I mean, that's something that we don't have right now. And it depends how the Vikings do. Again, the Vikings lose is, like you said, they can be an up or down team. I think it's going to be difficult for us to win the NFC North, and I don't want to put the people that are optimistic down. I'm just a little pessimistic on the wins this year. I'm ranging between 6 wins, 6 to 7 at most. But that's me. Love your Lions gear. Go Lions. Thank you, Mark. Hey, appreciate it, man. And once I get another payday from YouTube, I'll be buying a Goff jersey, a Swift jersey, and a Barry Sanders jersey. in the next couple of days. Shout out to TA Noble Sports. Do you know that we'll be kicking our points us through the posts? Do we know who will be? No, we don't know right now. That's the competition going on. That is what we don't know, Justin. Great question, and we'll probably find out in training camp. I know we signed the veteran out of the Steelers. With that said, we had Jack Fox, and we didn't know nothing about him and ended up being the GOAT. So we're going to have to wait till training camp. I would say we'll know by the second preseason game. I think that will be it. You're the best. Go Lions. Well, Super Freddy, you're the best. I appreciate you for those kind words. Tyrell Williams has the ability of a number one. He does, and you're 100% right. His problem is injury. He signed a fairly big deal with the Las Vegas Raiders before last year, and because he is big-time play. He's very fast, and he can get down range. The issue, though, is can he stay on the field? If he can stay on the field, he does have that ability, and you are speaking nothing but facts. We just got to make sure that he can stay on the field. And if he does, you're going to see a lot of play-action deep passes. You're going to see some bombs because Goff does have a big arm. Now, whether it's accurate or not downfield, that's yet to be determined, but he can throw it fairly far. Oh, yeah, Gurley too, right? Jamal will be a beast. Love his energy. I love his energy as well. This guy is absolutely just the type of guy you want players to be around, having fun, making fun of people, having a good time, and I 100% agree with that. I'm going to keep repeating it, folks, but let's hit that like button. Let's get this video to 100 likes. We are 13 away with 112 in the building. 100 likes. We can get it done. And Super Freddy says thanks. Don't forget about Gurley, right? Let's get that Gurley jersey if he signs. I feel if Aaron leaves, we have a chance at the playoff berth via wild card, not winning the division. It's possible, Tyler, but then you got to look at all the other teams here. The West could actually have three teams that go into the playoffs. You have the division winner, and you could have the Arizona Cardinals. You could have the San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, and the Rams. They all have a chance. And then I still think the New Orleans Saints, even though Drew Brees is not there, is going to be a good football team. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously, is going to be a really good football team. Someone out of the NFC East will win, probably the Dallas Cowboys or very much the Washington football team because they got a good team. There's a lot of quality teams in the NFC this year, but there is 7 spots. I think it's going to be difficult. I still think we're outside looking in. Does Dose see my question? I did not see your question. Okay, let me see. I see it now. Do you think the Lions have any chance at making the playoffs? Well, I'll kind of repeat what I said there. I don't think we're going to make it, obviously, as the NFC North. I still think we're outside going in. Do we have a shot? Yeah, I'm not going to burst anyone's bubble and say, nope, they don't have a shot. There's 0% chance. I don't do the 0% chance stuff. I don't do the no chance stuff. I just think the odds are against us right now. The strength of schedule is terrible for the Lions right now. We got a massive, difficult schedule, and it's going to be hard for the Lions to win some of these games. I mean, we're going against the AFC North. My God, we're going against the West. Good Lord, man. Do you think Julio for Crosby and a future first and a third? I would not do that deal at all. I do not want to give up. I do not want to trade for Julio Jones because he's 32 injured. And I don't think the Lions are ready to compete this year to give up a first-round draft pick, a third-round draft pick, and a swing tackle for that. I don't. If you're wanting to get a wide receiver, I think there's other options, other trade people. I just don't think that. And Julio wants to go to a winner. You heard it. He wants to be for a winning team. The Detroit Lions is not to be that team. If Rodgers leaves, we win in the North. If they sign Gurley and they're healthy, we could win a playoff game finally. Whew. I would hope so. I hope so. I'm still outside looking in. I'm sorry for my pessimism. What do you think about the Falcons? The Falcons, too, are an anomaly. They're an anomaly. Like, they have offensive power. They do, man, and it's like either they're good or they're really bad. They're a flip-of-the-coin team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year, but you never know. I mean, they literally was in every game last year, but they got a new coach. They got a Kyle Pitts tight end who's going to be obviously replacing as their probably number one target because, again, we know Julio Jones is going to get traded here soon. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but, they're a team you don't know. You just don't know. The Lions 9-7 this year. I don't want him. Lions have a chance, but, man, this schedule is tough. It is. That's the way I see it, too, in that realm of it is a very tough schedule. They obviously are not out of it. I mean, you can't just give up on the season before it even started. I mean, we've seen it a million times. Hashtag ISN. Love the ISN there. Hopefully we don't, if it will work out better for the Lions if they miss the playoffs. I always want to make the playoffs. I don't think there's a situation where I'd want to purposely miss it. I love playoff time. I love football. I love winning. I want the Lions to win. But, obviously if they feel like if we don't win, we do get a better draft pick. But we've been talking about this for 10,000 years since 1957. With that said, I don't think they're going to try to. I think we're just going to kind of not get there. 5 more likes to 100. Oh my God. Let's get to 100 likes. I think we can do there. We don't need Gurley. Straight rumors for sure. He's in Detroit. It's not a rumor. He is here in Detroit visiting. How many kneecaps will remain outside the D in the NFC North? Well, I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have kneecaps because he's not going to be in the NFC North. What's going to be awesome is watching running back Cook against our defensive front. Can we stop Cook? Okay, that guy's been running on us for a long time. I'm tired of getting ran on by this guy. Can we stop him? Can we bite his kneecaps off? And that would be nice to see if we could. Jared, that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. Let's see here. I don't buy the schedule injuries happen. Yes, they do to teams. You're going to the last team. Could go from worst to first. Am optimistic. Let's do this, Lions. Look, you're right. Teams go from worst to first. But the AFC West, does anyone really think that they're going to be a scrub division there? I don't think so. I think they're going to be tough. Arizona Cardinals are not going to, I don't see them just falling off a cliff. They've really beefed up that defense in the draft. Obviously, getting a all-pro center or Pro Bowl center, getting J.J. Watt. You look at Seattle Seahawks, I still think they're good. The Rams, I do think they're going to be decent. The 49ers, they're getting their defensive line back. AFC North, Baltimore Ravens, they're going to be good. Cleveland Browns, they're going to be good. The Steelers, they may fall back a little bit, but they could be good as well. What do you think the Giants are? What do you think is going to win the Super Bowl next year? I have Tampa Bay Buccaneers repeating. I had them last year winning the Super Bowl, and this year I have them repeating as well. I think that they're just a good football team, and I think they're going to win the Super Bowl. The problem is the Fords. Well, hopefully Sheila can break that, DeMott. Hopefully Sheila could break that. So far, she's doing pretty good. Marcus is spot on. The Lions are going, let's see, because his is spot on. The Lions are going to surprise a lot of people. They're putting together a rough, talented roster, especially if we can get Gurley for cheap. I do believe, Marcus, we're probably going to sign Todd Gurley. I do believe that. We're one like away from 100, and I think we're going to surprise. I do think we're going to surprise people. I think people think we're going to be the first pick or the second pick in the draft. I don't see that being that. I think the Lions could be a 6-7 win football team, and that will surprise. Could they do better? Yeah, they could. But I don't think they're going to be window-licking second pick in the draft. I don't. I just think that people are really off base on that one. I'd rather excited to see Goff on the gridiron this season. I'm excited too, man. I'm really excited to see that. Cook has a rude awakening coming, and Aaron Jones. Blitz gonna be mad. His girl Tori just quit. Are you talking about Tori Petrie? Are you serious? Tori Petrie. Did she just quit? That would be suck. I like Tori Petrie. Super Bowl, Lions, Chiefs. That would be, hey, if the Lions ever got to a Super Bowl, I'm going to be happy. Folks, I've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. It is time for me to shut this show down. But with that said, I appreciate everybody for coming out, having a good time. We got live in the chat. We had just a great show. I'm probably going to go live on Sunday. Expect that. I did this last Sunday. Everybody liked it. So if you want to do another live, we'll see. We'll probably be talking about Todd Gurley. We'll be talking about some more OTAs, observations, having a good time. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out if I do live and or with the breaking news, folks, because guess what? I do break news. It's happening all the time. That's what Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike is, Lions news and rumors. Hey, Super Freddy. So I appreciate everybody for hanging out.